Welcome to the Immerse podcast. We are your hosts, Alex O'Keefe and Dan Ramsden.
We aim to immerse you in education via our guests, bring communities together, embrace positive change and help create solid habits that yield the path for our health and longevity.
Right, here we go.
So,
Let's go, boys.
let's do it. Good morning, everyone. We've got an early one today.
Yeah.
Very early one. And usually you intro podcast. Mm-hmm. I said, no, I have to do this one. We've had the son on. Mm-hmm. Now we have the father, best friend, and also rugby league royalty in the house. Leon Pryce, welcome.
Thank you, Dan.
Welcome, big man.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. I'm bright and early.
Yeah.
Very early today.
Very early, fresh.
We usually have a sauna and ice bath starter, but we've gone bypass that. We're straight into it.
I've had a burger and some chips just for mine.
Start there, right?
I want to dive into, first of all, the career that you had. It was quite a special one. I don't think we all appreciated it as much whilst it were going on, but to reflect on all of that, you were 16 when you made your debut and you almost played 2 decades in the game at the highest level. If you were to go back now and look at your 16-year-old self, what advice would you give knowing what you know now?
Well, I just think everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? I think it's very easy to go back with hindsight. Life would be so easy with hindsight, knowing putting a 44-year-old head's shoulders on a 16-year-old's head is like, yeah, I wish I could do that. It'd be lovely. So I don't really like to look back. But if I had to, with hindsight, which is a wonderful thing, then I'd probably the training and dedication to last and to put yourself in a bit. I was very lucky. I was blessed. I was a natural athlete, and rugby came naturally to me, and I had the talent. But sometimes lacked the dedication to training, applying myself at training, weights. I didn't enjoy doing weights, fitness side of things. If I applied myself at those levels, diet. But, the diet thing wasn't really a big thing. The sports nutrition wasn't massive when I was 16, 17, 18, 19. Probably didn't come into later and running Super League.
Burger and chips.
Yeah, and crisps. So it would probably be that side of the game. I think I had the potential to go on and do a lot more than I did in my career, with a little bit more dedication to the conditioning and nutrition and the gym side of the game. And that would be probably my only bit of advice, would be to probably dedicate myself more in that area, as well as the talented side and just playing and the game side of it and the rugby side of it.
Where did you put your focus though? Because it wasn't a bad career, was it? If you look back on it, the accolades you won, pretty much everything that you could at club and like independent level, So where were you putting your focus then?
Well, I think for me, I had an obsession to win, an obsession to succeed, a determination to be the best player that I could be and to win trophies. Rugby for me was an obsession. It was something that I'd grown up on as an 8-9-year-old that used to go down and watch Bradford Northern. And for me, it was my, if you want to call it, my way out. It was my way out of Bradford. Not that there's anything wrong with Bradford, because I'm a proud Bradfordian, but to provide a better life for people that were around me, be that my children, myself, my wife, friends. I wanted to provide a better life than what I grew up in, and my parents are really working class. We didn't grow up with much. We didn't have very much. We were loved, and they were a good household, but we didn't have much. We couldn't afford holidays. We couldn't afford flashy things. We were very much very, very working class, and I wanted to provide a better life for myself, for anybody around me, and that were my way of doing that was through rugby. And also I wanted to emulate players like Jace Robinson, Ellery Hanley, Martin Fire, the black athletes of my era that stood out, that I wanted to emulate, that I wanted to be like. They were successful, driven, play for Great Britain, win Challenge Cups, play at Wembley, play in grand finals. That's why I wanted to emulate and be kind of that player of my era.
Nice, yeah.
Just like what Dan said there, Leon, and I've got some very fond memories of watching you when I were a young nipper, by the way. Actually, I'll go there first because me and my brother used to have season ticket. We were season ticket holders down at Odsall when we were probably 12, 13. And I just remember that, you know, going to game on a Friday night and the fucking buzz around the city was just unbelievable. And it were going to watch the likes of yourself and big Leslie Vinacolo and all them sort of giants in that era, really. So what were it like being part of that team there? And because there was something really tangible in the city at that time, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think if you speak to people now, probably people like yourself, everybody looks back on them years as the best years to be a Bulls fan and to be around. And it were probably the best years of Super League. You know, the crowds were massive and high, a lot of razzmatazz. You know, for Bradford itself, it was a very successful period. We had, you know, championship winning teams. World-class players, like he's mentioning there, the overseas players, you know, Mick Withers, Joe Vanganar, Leslie Vinacolo, Robbie Paul, Henry Paul, the list goes on and on and on. So, yeah, it was, you don't think it at the time. I just really enjoyed it. We were all a really close-knit group. We were all like family. We were all like friends, brothers, on and off the field. We spent a lot of time together. We'd train and we'd play cards. Then we'd go out. Then we'd go to somebody's house for a barbecue. Then we'd be on a night out. So we were together 24/7. Nice. So there were a lot of fun memories, obviously, for me as well, because it was my hometown club. I'd been supporting Bradford since I was 7 or 8, ball boy. So it was like going to playing at the place that you'd stood on the terraces as well. So, yeah. And also Bradfordians, you know, I'm very much a proud Bradfordian. So to try and make people happy that are your people, that you see as your people, that's also special as well. So yeah, a lot of special memories, a lot of fun, good times.
Love that, man.
It were unbelievable times.
It was packed out every game, wasn't it? Packed at rafters. Yeah. It was just unbelievable.
Even just at the lower level that I played in academy, it was still special. It was still a massive buzz around the ground, and even like we played curtain raisers and stuff, and the grounds were packed. Yeah,
they got it right in there. They got the biggest thing that Bulls got right, the Bulls mania, was the pre-game, the entertainment for the kids. You know, the kids getting in for free, the cars going around the track, the inflatables. It wasn't just the game; it was the show. Yeah. Family day out, and there were streams of people travelling from, you know, walking right down from top of Wipsey, walking all the way down into Odsall, and it'd be thousands of people walking down, and it were an event, and you could hear the noise. I lived on Carbottom Road when we were younger, and you could hear the noise, you could hear Odsall from there, you could hear the roads, you could hear the sound system. It was a lively event.
Yeah, well, wasn't it? Yeah. Are we going to get back there, do you think?
I don't know. It's to be seen, innit? It's to be seen. They're putting things in place now. And if I'm honest with you, I don't really watch too much. There's talks of possibly I'm going back in Super League, but there's a lot of work to be done. You know, there's a lot of fans that need to go back to create that atmosphere. I think, you know, they're averaging 3,000-4,000. You know, when in Super League we could average 10,000-12,000 really, which would be, that's the kind of numbers that you'd expect Bradford to be getting if they got back into Super League. So they're definitely trying. They definitely have been close over the last couple of years.
Yeah. I think it's going to be announced any time, isn't it?
This week, Thursday. Today.
Oh,
I think today. Yeah, well, no, I think the chairmans and what have you find out today, and tomorrow it'll come out publicly, I think.
Fingers crossed. Let's get them back on the map.
Fingers crossed for the Bulls.
Let's get that going again. There were one thing that I wanted to touch on that I thought that were a really important thing for parents to listen to. We've got a lot of parents that listen to this show, and obviously you've done what you've done. You've now passed your knowledge on to the cub. He's doing his thing, not doing bad at all. But there was something that he said in that podcast that we did, and Alex asked him the question, did your dad, push you and make you work hard? And he said, never. First thing, he didn't even give it a second thought. He said he never pushed me. I just wanted to do it, and he just helped to guide me. What did that look like for you as a dad to pass that knowledge on to his son? And How did you seem to get that right, do you think?
Well, listen, you will both know as well as I do, and everybody listening will know that parenting is the hardest thing in the world, isn't it? There's no blueprint for it, and everybody's just blagging it out there.
Yeah.
Everybody's just guessing.
Yeah.
And obviously, Will's was our first. I had him when I was 21. But the biggest thing for me was I understood pressure that I were under, and that the game loses its fun. It loses fun. It becomes a job, and I love rugby. But when you've got your mortgage and you've got kids and you've got bills and you've got pressure and you've got injuries and your head's not right and you're worrying about a contract and you're getting criticism and people slagging you off, there's also a dark side to sport and a dark side to the game that people don't understand or see when you're not in it. You know, you're very quickly forgotten. You know, if you're injured, you might not get a contract. You know, you can be forgotten in a second. And I knew that side of the game. I knew the pressures that come with it, and I didn't want to ever put that onto an 8 or 9 year old boy that he must train or he must play and he's got to work harder. It's like, enjoy it. Enjoy the game, because if you are good enough, you'll make it. And if you are good enough and you do make it, and I've made your first 10, 12 years of rugby unenjoyable and miserable because I'm telling you to do this and I'm making you do that and I'm ramming it down your throat and I'm putting you under pressure. Pressure's coming anywhere if you make it. It's coming no matter what. The pressure from you put on yourself, the pressure you're getting from fans, the pressure from contracts, pressure from clubs, pressure from media. It's coming. So why would I add to that? And I didn't want to base my sole relationship with him around me dictating to him how we should play a game, because I played it. And I knew that the pressure would come in also because I played it and he was my son, so people would expect him to be good anyway. So it was just guidance. I didn't have to tell him to do all. It was just, Wills were obsessed with playing rugby. It's been coming to training with me since we were 3, 4. Will's the kind of kid that would watch the game and be like enthralled by the game, like he wasn't running around with the rest of the kids. You know, be sitting watch a full game with my mum and dad and Carly at the game. So I never had to push it on him. But I do really believe that like the relationship between me and Wills, I didn't want it to be solely based on me dictating what he should be doing in a rugby game. I didn't want to put that pressure on him.
Nice, yeah.
There's a lot of wisdom in that, isn't there?
Seen it and done it.
Yeah. Do you know the first question that Dan asked you about what would you say to a younger version of yourself? Do you think that were you maybe saying that to Will when he were 8, 9 years old?
Yeah, definitely. There's been, and that was one of the reasons that I took Wills to Dan, to get him into that groove of training and doing the extra little bits that, that possibly could have helped me. I trained younger when I was with my dad. My dad had taken me to the gym. I just didn't enjoy it. But yeah, I've always, the number one thing, a bit of advice for Wills was to do your extras, train hard, be up front in fitness, do your weights, do your extras, work hard, like do those things and the rest will come with it. That's always something that I've always said to him. That's learning from my mistakes, and I tried to pass that on to him, and I think somewhere along the line he's kind of learned that for himself. Because listen, we make mistakes. I make lots of mistakes. I'm a real imperfect human, and sometimes people can fall into the trap of trying to come across as perfect or you've done things right. And I think it's also good to embrace doing things wrong. Embrace that the fact that we're not going to get everything right. We're human. We make mistakes. We make errors. And I was young when I had Wills and thrust onto the spotlight at 16, 17 year old, being like an homegrown player in Bradford when you're getting 20,000 fans every week and you're on front and back of TNA and your name's everywhere. It's a lot of pressure for a 16, 17 year old. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make errors. Things are going to go wrong. So it's also about learning and understanding that you're not going to get everything right. And I think that's something that I've come to understand now, is that I can advise Wills and my kids on what I did wrong and not to follow in them footsteps, but also they're going to make mistakes. It's about letting them make mistakes too, and not being too protective in the fact that you're so restrictive that you don't let them make their errors and learn from their mistakes. So I think that's a balance.
Yeah. You know yourself though, like you can hear all words in the world, can't you? But actually feeling it and doing the shit wrong, that's that's when you learn. So you can't take that away from someone.
As long as you learn from it.
As long as you learn from it.
As long as you learn from it, like, and that's the big thing. And I've made lots of errors and errors on errors and mistake. But at some point, you've got to learn from your mistakes. You know, it's okay making them, but at some point, you've got to learn and mature and grow and understand that you can't keep making the same mistakes because you've not got long to keep it right.
I think there was something that we touched on. We watched the grand final the other night, and there was something that really stuck with me, what you said there, and it were the environment that were created as well. Like, for your kids, they're all winners, not just Will, they all are. And it's that positive male role models that were in their life as well. You know, they're around other professional people that are elite athletes that have to do things differently. They have to mature quicker. You know, and like you say, be thrust into the spotlight. But you just want doing that. They were around other people that were doing that too, and not just rugby players as well. Like other people that were successful in their own way.
Yeah. I think it's like I was saying. I think the number one thing in my opinion, for success as a person is who you surround yourself with. Who are you around with the most? And I think there's a saying in there is that you become like the 5 people that you spend the most time around. And I think like your friendship circle is, for me, my friendship circle is so important to show my kids that I hang around with people who are going in the same direction and have the same beliefs and the same ethics as myself, and, you know, hardworking, honest, integrity, stand-up people that that are good dads, people that work hard in business, people that look after the kids, people that have got the same interests as me. I think when you surround yourself with those kind of people and your kids see it, I think they're seeing it. Well, for me anyway, I'm not saying everybody, I'm not going to speak for myself. I think they're seeing an environment that, you know, is showing them a way that's successful in a way, and, you know, it's a thriving way to live for me. People succeed. If you want nice things, you've got to work hard. You know, we live in a nice house, but we work hard. You see people doing nice things that have achieved in their careers, in their sport, their profession, their business. They've worked hard, and a lot of family people, and I think that's important to me. I think it's important to Will's as well. He's a very family oriented person, and all my kids are. We're all very close. That family environment, it's really important to me, and the people that I surround my kids with are all people of the same ethic and the outlook on life as me.
Yeah,
important, isn't it?
That's power.
I would say, based on that, when we were speaking about it the other night, it's probably the main ingredient, really, isn't it? You know, the environment that you put in that planting. You know,
and it's not always been right. Listen, it's not always been right. I've had to make serious adjustments to my lifestyle, my life, my outlook, my personality, my behaviours, because it's not all been right. So I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm all preaching and godlike, because I'm not. I've made a lot of errors, and I've learned this along the way. You know, it's just about growing. It's growing and not staying still. And those things that, you know, maybe having 20 people around in my kitchen, having a party, and it going on till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and everybody drinking and carrying on. Yeah, there were a time in my life where that were acceptable, and, you know, it were part of growing up, and kids enjoyed it, running around, blah, blah, blah. But that's not a part of my life now, and, you know, that's not where I want to go, and it's not what I want to surround my kids with, and it's not what I want Leo to see growing up. I don't think it's where I want to be as a family. You know, there's a time and place for it, but I'm 44 now, my wife's nearly 50, so, you know, it's kind of like growing up and learning from your past. I think it's important.
So we're gonna go there, and it's sort of like nicely leading us down that route. You've in recent years made the decision to go sober. It's a common theme that we've discussed on this podcast. It's something that we need to look at on a scientific point of view, but also the mental side, the connection side, what it's doing to your life, the decisions that you make.
Cultural.
Yeah, and you've decided to take full ownership and responsibility for yourself, your actions. You've been sober for 3 years.
3.5.
3.5.
Don't knock any off.
Sorry, mate. Every day counts. Can you tell us a little bit about like that? Let's go into the weeds on that journey. You know, why do you have to be sober completely? Why do you have to say, no, I cannot do this anymore? You know, what's the journey behind it? And where are you now?
Yeah, I think for me, like you say, I made a decision. I didn't have a choice, if I'm honest. I'll try to be as honest as I can. I didn't have a choice. So my old way of living and thinking had come to its end. Left me a really lonely, isolated, depressed person. You know, I'll go through it all so that we can get a good take on it. So for me, like we were speaking about before, rugby's been my passion, drive, and my identity since I was probably 8. I've always associated myself with rugby. So to go from 8 to 35 and that be all, it was my sole purpose in life was rugby. I've some of my kids as well, but I didn't ever anything else. I'd gone straight from school, straight into rugby, and that was my identity. So then when that were removed, I really struggled knowing who I was. And when I'd relied on the game, the adulation from the crowd, the feel-good factor, you know, any stress in life, anything that was going on in my personal life, private life, what have you, if I got onto that rugby field and played well and took a bit of a shot and took whacked somebody back and got hurt, and like I'd walk off and I'd feel like I'm all right now. That were a massive stress reliever for me, and obviously everything that comes with it. But when that's removed, I was left with me, and I was left with something I'm not prepared for. I had to find my identity, and through the years I'd kind of slowly but surely used drink and other things to mask I was feeling, and I didn't know I was outside of the game, and slowly but surely over those years, then it left me in a really isolated, lonely person, and making lots of errors and mistakes, and using alcohol to suppress my feelings and emotions and running away from life, basically. So I got to a point where I was on my own completely. Kids are gone, wife gone, on my own in my house, friends are gone. I was left completely on my own, rock bottom. And it was from there that, you know, I got help from RL Cares, and I started to rebuild my life. And I realised when I got to that bottom, I knew that if I carried on doing what I was doing, I was gonna die, and I wouldn't be there to bring my kids up. And I had to make a change. There were no like, you want a choice. I had to, because I would have killed myself if I'd carried on doing what I was doing. And from there, I grew, and I realised I had to surround myself with different people. I had to change my lifestyle. I had to change the way I thought, the way I think, what I was doing. And, you know, I worked on my recovery, and got a lot of help. I surrounded myself with people that thought the same as me, that were non-drinkers. And yeah, it's been, when I look back now, 3.5 years later, the rock bottom was like a beautiful place to be. I was lonely, and all these people that you say that are always, I've got your back and I'll be there for you, and I've always got your back. It's easy to say that, isn't it, when you're at the top of your game and everybody's loving you and you're scoring tries and you're on. But when you've got nothing, and
when
you've got nothing, and you've got nothing left, and you're really hard to be around, and people are worried about you, like, then you find out who your friends are, and that's a beautiful thing too, because you know when you hit rock bottom, you know who's there for you. And I love that part of it. Not at the time, but I do now. But yeah, it's just a journey. It's just been a journey, and it's been the best journey that I've could have ever experienced. It's completely transformed who I am, how I think, how I act, how I react. It's given me some self-respect. It's got rid of that self-pay that kind of I had for a number of years when I retired. And it's really, really, it really brought a lot of gratitude in my life. I look at what I've achieved, my kids, myself, and it's given me a lot of self-respect, because underneath who I was as a player, there was a lot of, what's the word? Insecurities. that you amassed through playing. You know, very insecure young boy, and I think as a remainder that emotional level of a young boy for a long time until I found this sober journey.
It's difficult, isn't it, when you've been thrown into the arena from fresh out of school? You literally.
Yeah, it's okay, but that's okay 11. Though, Dan. No, but it's okay. It's okay to own it. So it's just part of my journey. It don't matter if it was difficult or not. It was just part of my journey that I fully own now, and being accountable for absolutely everything, every action that you've made in the past, owning it. And making amends, apologising for your behaviour, building bridges, building relationships back up. You know, everything has revolved in my journey and rediscovering kind of my passion for life around getting sober and working on my character defects, working on who I am as a person and finding some self-respect for myself again.
What I will say, you know, I've been with you throughout the whole journey, you know, like we said, the warts and all, when it were good and when it were bad. For me, looking at it, I always admired how you handled the shit that you took and still do. You know, it still happens. You know, I didn't realise until the other night, like your profile is still pretty big. Not to like polish your ego too much, but you handled the criticism very well. Most of the time.
Yeah, that's what you think.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Seemingly.
Yeah, seemingly.
But what were going on then behind those eyes?
Yeah, it's a lot to take in it. I mean, even on this, there'll be some people. You're never going to please everybody, are you? You never. The people are always going to have something to say, and it's hard. I'll just be honest. I'll be honest with you. I was very touchy around criticism. A big part of reading or hearing nasty things about you or being criticised is part of the game, yeah. But it's never easy. It's not easy to take, but it's learning to take it. And I think a big part of that, the drinking culture around rugby at the time, I think that's in a form of escapism from pressure and from criticism, and it's not easy to take. It's not easy. It's not normal, is it? It's not normal for you to see criticism, saying nasty things about yourself, and for you to feel good. Mm-hmm. You're not going to feel good. So it's understanding and learning that once you get yourself into a place where you like yourself and respect yourself, it's a lot easier to take criticism, because you think to yourself, what's going on with you? What's taking you? What's going on in your life that you've taken 25 seconds out of your life to write something and to post something like, what's going on with you? You can't be happy. You can't be happy, because if you were a happy person, you wouldn't need to be put. You wouldn't need to take time out of your day to criticise and slag somebody off that you don't really know.
It's not just that; it's actually physically going up as well and hurling some shit at you.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing again. I didn't understand that when I was younger, but with perspective and looking back now as a 44-year-old with a bit of experience, I think for people to say that, I think a lot is like kind of funny. It's like, what's going on with you? Well, you really feel that bad about yourself that you want to come up to me and have a go? Like, and if I'm honest with you, I don't put myself in them situations. I don't go out. I don't go out to clubs. I'm not out of the house past 10 o'clock on a night time. So there's not going on good on a night time. There's not going out. There's not going good. There's not good happening at 12 o'clock on a night, is there?
Not really.
No.
It's not going on good at 2 o'clock in the morning, is there?
No.
And it sounds boring, but I'm in my bed, mate. 9:30, I'm in bed.
Same here.
It sounds boring, but it's safety, isn't it? It's safety. It's
drama-free time, isn't it?
Yeah, I just like being safe. I just like being in my house and just being locked up in my bed and covers up, watch me bit of my phone and put them off to sleep and sleep. Boring and all.
Yeah. No, Leon, I don't know if you're aware of this, but can you date back to when you actually started your sober journey, like
17th of May 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
So fucking weird that, innit? Because I were literally exactly at the same time.
Yeah.
June of that year, and I've not drunk since either.
Yeah.
So I'm just relating to loads what you're saying there, and obviously I want a big sort of in the sports world like you were, but a lot of the stuff's relative, and people listening will be able to relate with what you're saying there. You were masking someone who you really wasn't, and putting a front on, and not knowing who you truly was.
I think now, like, that's a really good point, is I feel now I am the person I've always meant to be. I feel that's how I feel. And there's not one part of my life that's not improved since getting sober. Not one part. Every single aspect of my life has got better. Everything. And I think it's a really good point. I feel as though now I'm the person I've always meant to be, and I always was. I just you get caught up in the game and ego and pride and all the other things that come along with life.
In the early years, it was never a thing for you, were it? You know, you were always the sober one, designated driver. You never really wanted it, did you?
No, when I say drinking, drinking's not. It's not like I'd go to a pub and drink 6 pints and be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday and playing bowls and darts and dominoes and all that. I'm not a pub person. But I use it to mask my emotions and my feelings and to forget half the time and to de-stress, which is not healthy. It's not a coping mechanism, is it? And it's like burying your head in the sand and not wanting to deal with life on life's terms, wanting to deal with what's coming and always try to put it back. So it's not like I wasn't a big drinker as in a social side of it. It was more about coping mechanism.
Exactly the same. I just used it as a tool to fit in with a particular group of people, and then I think maybe you can relate, but you don't really know what's real when you look back at that time. Now it's like I would pretend to be someone else, and I was using this as a tool, and now, like you say, I believe I am who I truly am now. I always meant to be this guy, and lo and behold, I've had my closest relationships within the last 3 or 4 years, because I'm actually just being completely who I am myself.
Authentic.
Leaning into like stuff I love doing, business, going for coffee, food, just really who I'm meant to be. And now I've got the best relationships I've ever had in my life.
And that's what people don't understand. That what you're saying there is like gold. People say, like, wouldn't you fancy like just having one or two months? So like, no, like, do you understand how good my relationships are with people now? Like, people might not understand, but like, being able to have a good relationship and be totally present with your kids and to be able to have a decent relationship with your wife, it's hard work, like, but it is what it is. But just friendships, your kids, like being able to talk and communicate, not masking, not hiding. Those relationships at work, staff, like I'm managing a kids' care home at the moment, like being able to handle people and talk and to relate and to not be a hothead or in your own self. Like, relationships are the number one thing that's come back. Friendships and being able to communicate, not leaving myself isolated, not hiding from the world. Like, relationships for me is like nearly number one.
Number one, yeah. And the conversations you have with people, and don't get me wrong, and we did a full podcast of this. Dan interviewed me about my journey with it, and very careful not to sound preachy about it, but we've all got our own experience, haven't we? And people can go through it and be okay with having pints and crack on with their life, but for me and yourself and probably other people listening, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
It's very hard. So this is what I think. If you're struggling with, if you want to stop drinking and you want to stop drinking, but you keep doing all the same things that you did. So if you keep going to pubs and you keep going to clubs and barbecues and you're around the parties, you're not going to stop drinking.
No.
What I had to do is, which I've learned now, is I had to create a new life. I had to find a way, and that first 6 months was not stop going to people's houses, cut off people I didn't want to be around that only got smashed all the time. I didn't want it in pubs, want in clubs, want in bars, didn't go to barbies, didn't go to parties. And then from there, once I had that bit of time on my own, started getting hobbies, interests, started doing golf more, started walking more, started really working up, started having a better bedtime routine. So, in general, I like to be in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm definitely asleep for 10:30. I'm awake at 6 in the morning, usually earlier. But so my nighttime routine, I'm always getting those number of hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Like really working. I mean, my diet's rubbish. I don't really train, so I won't pretend to you on that level. But like mental health, lifestyle, everything had to change. And when people were going out, I had to say, no, I'm okay, I'm going to be home. But eventually, being that comfortable with yourself, you're okay with yourself. You're okay with yourself. I couldn't used to be able to stay on my own in a house. I'd have to be around people because I couldn't manage my own thoughts and feelings. It'd be like my head wouldn't show up, my head wouldn't stop. Yeah. Whereas now I can sit in peace on my own, and I don't care if I don't feel like I've not got no FOMO, I don't fear missing out, and people are doing stuff, so be it, it's all good. I go to my meetings, I connect with other people that don't drink. I connect with like-minded people. I've changed my lifestyle. I play golf. I'll speak to Robbie. Robbie's saying Robbie don't drink much. Robbie don't drink anymore. Play golf 2 or 3 times a week.
Hasn't it, for Robbie?
Yeah. It's a lot. There's quite a few rugby lads that have had to stop drinking. So it's just finding a different way. But it's not like you can't. If I just stop drinking, if all I did was just stop drinking, but kept on doing all the same things, I would never have stopped. Never, no chance.
Yeah, that's my thread. Then I'm gonna interject with something. Then it's just like just completely went.
When we spoke to your Will, actually, I think we spoke to Will about alcohol, and he were kind of having the same thoughts at such a young age. He's already seeing that life's better without it, but I don't know obviously what he's. I think
the number one thing that what people don't like is if you ever come across as preachers. I'll never say to Wills that you shouldn't be drinking. Never. No. I'd never say to any of my friends ever. All I know is it's not good for me. All I can say is that alcohol doesn't work for Leon. And I don't care. No, I don't care, but it just don't work, and it's okay. And I we went out the other night, and with Rammer and Spratham, they're having a few beers, and it's like I'm sound around it. It's cool. It's no drama. I never tell anybody not to have. Like some people, it's fine. Just for me, it don't work. I can do everything else. Everything in life I can do. There's only one thing I can't do. That's drink.
Yeah.
And it's like you can take, like, if it's the only one thing you've got to take away from me, but I can do absolutely everything else, and I'm good with that. Like it's given me so much more than what it's taken away.
I think this is what I'm going to say. It's the crash and burn though as well. You know, like you said earlier, you didn't feel comfortable sitting in your own thoughts and emotions because there were too much going on. There were tambourines going off and all
non-stop, but it's still the same now.
Yeah. But it's like
I still have a crazy head. Like my head's still crazy. Don't get me twisted. Don't think that I'm all this Zen person, because I'm not. I've learned that I've got to manage my head. Because my head I want to isolate me from people. It wants to tell me people are doing me wrong. It wants to portray negative images and thoughts all the time. So it's a constant battle to put yourself in a frame of mind that is full of gratitude, that is looking forward to waking up in the morning and attacking the day.
It's getting rid of the fog though, isn't it?
It's getting rid of the fog. It's a constant process. It's not just, I've stopped drinking, everything's sound. It's a daily routine and daily habit.
Yeah. Well, like I said about the crash and burn, take everything away, like everything, rock bottom, and rebuilding from that and seeing the peace and the joy that you can find within yourself. That's exactly where it's at. That is success, isn't it, really? If we look at success, if you feel sound in body and mind, and you're okay with your environment, your routine, the people that you see each day, and you feel happy and content within that is success for anyone, isn't it?
I think it's my biggest achievement in life is finding peace. Because I want at peace with myself for a very long time, and that's why I behaved in ways that I did and put myself in dangerous situations and chased excitement and chased toxicity, chased rubbish, and just want, me finding peace with myself, making peace with myself, the young Leon that were so uneasy with himself for a number of years. That's been my greatest success in life, as well as my kids, obviously, because they're my biggest success too. But People say they chase happiness. Well, happiness is coming and going, and it comes and goes. You're not always going to be happy, are you?
No.
You're not always going to be at peace.
It's an emotion.
You know what I mean? You're not always going to be at peace. You know, you're going to be putting. That's life. Life's still going to come at you, Leon. Life's still going to attack you. There's something around that corner that's going to come at you, that's going to hurt you, that's going to be upsetting, that's going to be challenging, it's going to be tough. But if I'm in this frame of mind, when it comes, I'll be ready to deal with it. And that's reassuring to know too. If I stay sober and I keep working my program and I keep connected and I keep doing the things that I'm doing, when that really traumatic event around the corner comes, which is going to come because that's what life does to you, then I'll be in the right frame of mind to deal with it. And that's reassuring. Like I say, it makes me feel at peace with myself.
When you say working your program, what does that generally look like? Have you got a particular protocol that you're following? What's the script there?
Yeah, it's just probably a little bit personal. That's probably a little bit personal. I probably don't want to go there for everybody, but yeah, it's just I've just found a method for me that works, and it's, you know, I work
systems.
I work every morning, and you know, I like to. I don't know. I don't want to go too far into it, but you know, it works for me, and I'll leave it at that if that's all right.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah.
That's just thrown me off my next question, because I'm going to say, what sort of tools do you use to kind of, you know, you talk about the voices that come in still sometimes, and that's same for us all, and it's got like the light wolf and the dark wolf inside of us all, and it's which one you feed, isn't it? So is there any sort of tools you can share with anyone that's listening that's helping you live better daily? Yeah,
well, I think connection's a big thing. I think connection's a really massive tool in speaking, talking, opening up, because I was a really private person, very extremely private, that kept all my everything dead close to my chest, and that didn't do me any good at all. And you know, I think I listened to a podcast that you did a bit, so we're talking a little bit about stoicism. Yeah. I think as a man, it's very you don't really talk about your emotions and feelings, and you don't want to open up. And it's getting the balance between staying connected, talking about what's going on, but also still having that stoicism to go, but let's attack it. I am still a man, and I am going to provide for my kids, and I've got to go for it, and I've got to drive. You know, because if we go fully in emotions and feelings, and we're not fully functioning, you know, men, in my opinion, they've got to own it and still drive. And it's okay to open up and say, listen, I'm not feeling great, or my head's been a bit all over the place this week, my bed's all over the place today. You know, but I also find gratitude's a really massive thing for me as well. It's like writing a gratitude list, writing what you're grateful for. I say a little prayer in the morning, you know, and so if you don't, I'm not a religious person, but you know, I believe in the universe, if you like. I'll believe in spirits and what have you, and don't want to go too far out there and scare people off thinking Leon's gone whacking, he's nuts, but it works for me. It just works for me, you know. The gratitude is a massive thing, because gratitude and self-pity can't coexist. If you're grateful for absolutely everything that you've got, the good and bad, you know, I'm grateful to waking up this morning. I'm grateful that I'm sat with my friend and you, Alex, talking on a podcast, that you've actually offered me an opportunity to come and talk to you. My kids are healthy. My son's in Australia this morning, he's okay. I'm about to get out, finish here and go to work. I'm getting paid to go to work. I'm grateful for that. I've woke up healthy this morning. Not everybody wakes up healthy in the morning, do they? Like, I'm grateful for everything in my life. I go home and my tea will be cooked for me by my wife. My son's had a good day at school. I get a chance to go watch him play football this weekend. Not everybody gets a chance to see their kids every day. I see my kids every day. I put them to bed every night. Not all dads get the chance to do that. I'm grateful for that.
It's abundant thinking, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And that's not how I was 4, 5, 6 years ago. I couldn't see past the end of my nose. And when you start to live in that gratitude kind of frequency, you start to look for things that you're grateful for. You know, if you set yourself a gratitude list of finding 10 things every day that you're grateful for, what you do is you start going around looking for things that you're grateful for. You think, oh, I'm grateful for that. You know, oh, wow, I've got that. Wow, I didn't have that before. And I had to lose everything before I was grateful for it.
It's so much different as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can completely relate to that. You know, obviously, you know what I've been through in the last few years and stuff. And you know, getting stripped right back to the bare bones.
Nothing.
And then going from there.
Yeah.
Even the simple thing like a hot shower, it's like not everyone can do this. I'm really grateful for this right now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm in a shit position, but if you can think like that, you're moving away from the rock bottom.
Absolutely.
You know.
And then you look, and then I think you reflect, Dan, on the bad time as actually being the good time.
Yeah,
the bad time, the time that you had rock bottom, the lesson there. When you have got perspective, and you actually realise, then you start to think, well, when something does go bad, I know that it's redirecting me in another way, and it's a lesson, and that I looked at that rock bottom that I got 3.5 years ago. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. It was a blessing. It made me completely reset who I am, and seeing it from that perspective then is a whole different mindset.
Yeah,
it's a really nice word.
It's ugly in the moment, and I think that's what we resist so much in it. You know, that ultimate vulnerability, and allowing yourself to go there. You've got to get to a point where you're backed up right in the corner and you've got nowhere else to go. You've got to go there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because then that's the bit where you can really start moving away
start
from
growing,
it.
Yeah. Well, you have to change. I had to change. You know, and for people, like, if there's anybody listening out there that's struggling with drinking and coping, you don't have to hit rock bottom to make a change. There's help out there, you know. Definitely there's a lot of help out there. And for me, I'm such a hard-headed, stubborn...
No.
Yeah,
no.
Stubborn.
You're not.
Hard-headed, egotistical, arrogant. Like, I remember my character defects, you know. If I go revert back into defence mode, I'm argumentative, I'm egotistical, I'm arrogant, I'm selfish. You know, them are the things that are waiting for me, that if I don't work on myself, that's the character defects of me that will come back out. What I'm trying to say, sorry, I went off one. I don't want people to feel like they've got to hit rock bottom and nearly be dead before they stop drinking. Make changes. You know, just reach out, look for connection, speak to people, and, you know, you don't have to hit absolute rock bottom before you make changes to your life.
Yeah. I think it's also ultimately coming to a place of understanding where life can humble all of us as well in different ways. You know,
I guarantee it will.
Ways. Yeah, and you know, we've just had, you know, recent news of a friend falling ill. You know, someone who's regarded as being really healthy and fit, and, you know, and it's just like life can throw some really fucking curveballs at us at any moment, and it's like trying to see the joy in every day that we have. There's nothing as good as this moment right now.
But I think that's what being sober for me gives me the ability to be present. I'm not constantly thinking about what I've done wrong in the past and what's gone on, or who's done me wrong, or blah blah blah, and I'm not constantly worrying about the future, if I'm going to have enough money to pay bills. It just is. It just today is today, and I'm being present in the moment, enjoying this moment on this podcast, chatting to you too. And after, I'll go to work and we'll go on with the day, and tomorrow comes. Being present, and that's a massive advantage in my life. If you know, managing to get to a place where I'm present, and I'm present with my kids, and being able to speak to them as well, my kids as well. Like, I've always found it hard to talk to them emotionally and be affectionate and relay how I'm feeling, or ask them how they're feeling, and speak to them, and, you know, not just being there to pay the bills, you know, not just being there as that financial guy, but actually being able to be actually emotionally in tune with my daughter, with Wills, my youngest boy, Leo hopefully will see a completely different side of me, who compared to Wills and Lily, who we had when we were really young, so they've seen the warts and all versions of everything. But you know, Leo hopefully is just going to see a sober, peaceful household.
I think growing up bad though, have they really?
No, just life, innit?
Yeah,
just life.
Definitely.
The one beautiful thing is they've seen the dad get to the place where he is today, and he's not given up, and he's kept on working on himself to a level where you're really happy. You know, you're at peace now. So yeah, they've had a different journey to what young Leo will have, but the journey that they've had with you is still still a beautiful one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's not something I didn't ever want for my kids to see me in a bad place and a bad spot, but it's life, innit? And it's just honest. Life will humble you, and it did do, and took it. And my relationship with my kids is great, absolutely unbelievable. I've got a fantastic relationship with all three of my kids, equally. Each one different, each one special, and I just think, for me personally, and I know a lot of people will be the same. It's like, for me, life is about my kids. Like, I've had my little bit of a journey with the rugby. Yeah, it's nice to talk about it, but I love watching my son play rugby. I love watching my daughter do dance class. I love watching Leo play football. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, I take Leo to training 3 or 4 nights a week, 2 or 3 games on a weekend. Will's plays over here. We're all there watching him. Like, that's what I enjoy doing. That's my buzz, and guiding and supporting my kids is my number one thing that I enjoy to do.
Seeing your kid do something good is miles better than doing it yourself, isn't it?
Oh, mate, like when Will scored a try, and he scored 2 tries in Perpignan. So we're in France, where we lived for 3 years. He was only 9 or 10 when we lived there, and he scored 2 full-lengthers. We were in crowd with the Hull fans singing, up, dancing, in back at stadium, like that. And all Hull fans who could see that I were in stadium, they're all going, no! And I'm like, like, it was such good fun, like, as well, because it's just good fun. It's like, enjoy it. Let's enjoy the moment. How special is it to see your son scoring tries in south of France, where you used to live? Like,
the whole thing
so
about
special.
that is so unique, and it is so special. The fact that you represented that club as well. You're with those fans again.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And then after we were getting down with all fans by the side, and we were singing All Faithful, and we were just like, you got to enjoy it, and you're like, there's no point in playing a sport that you enjoy if you don't actually enjoy everything that comes with it when it comes. Embrace it and enjoy it, because it doesn't last forever. Enjoy it while it's here.
It's a very euphoric moment, though. I mean, I can only say, watching my son on a Sunday morning, I buzz off watching him do some good stuff.
Don't get me wrong, just as much fun watching Leo play football. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
There's just exactly the same feeling.
Well, I was with you the other week and I see how excited you get on
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Get animated.
I love it. Yeah.
Don't you, mate? You see that? You see that? Yeah, I saw it. He's got it too.
I can't wait for that to come for my little nippers, man.
He's definitely onto something as well. Definitely.
Leo.
Yeah.
I think I've told you this before, but I clean your windows, don't I? We've got a window cleaning business, and we go out of yours, and sometimes kids are out in back garden, and I think it was like last summer or something, and Leo were in back garden, and he was shooting hoops in basketball net, and he was like coming to me, he said, come on, have a go. So I was like, try to get it in. I didn't get it in, to be honest. Leo just like that. Swoosh. Swoosh.
Yeah,
he's got some proper natural ability, man.
He don't stop. Yeah. He's very similar to what I was like at that age. Tall, gangly, fast. Yeah. Loves his football, loves his rugby, loves sport. Always wants to be in garden playing. But yeah, he's a good boy. He's my baby boy. I'm so soft on him. Man. I'm really soft. I mean, I'm really hard on Will's. Lily's just Lily. She's a girl, and girls are different out there, hard work, but she's just like me, so I can handle her. And we get along, obviously. I get along with all 3 of them, but Leo, I'm so soft on him. I need to toughen up. I'm a proper pansy. I get told off all the time. Yeah. Carly and Wills tell me off all the time. She's so soft with him. Tell him, I'm like, it's all right. Just leave him alone.
I love that. I'll tell you what, we're nice.
He still sleeps in bed with me. He's living 8. He's still in bed with me. Sometimes in.
There's not wrong with that.
But yeah, I'm a different. Yeah, I'm just soft. We are all soft on him, but I'm extremely soft.
There's something else as well that I have seen. A big, strapping, strong, tough rugby player, but you still kiss your boy on the lips, and I'm down for that. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. No. You're like, come here, give me a kiss. Yeah. Like, and I think that's really important as men to show that level of emotional connection to their kids. Some people think it's weird, and I think they're weird for thinking that it's weird, because there's nothing wrong with being affectionate with your kids, especially a father to son as well. Some people think that you've just got to be tough with them. I don't think you do. I think you've got to be a bit of both.
Totally, 100%. Yeah, right. I can only speak for my household. I agree with everything I can. I never preach on anybody else, but I wanted to learn from how I was brought up. So my household, my mum and dad were quite... not as loving, not as much emotion, not hugging, not kissing, nobody, no, I love you. There were none of that. And I didn't want that in my household. I didn't want that with my kids. And I've made a point of showing my emotion as much as I can. I always tell my kids I love them. I always give them a kiss. I'll always give Leo a kiss. Carly's the same. We say I love you to our kids nearly every day. Come here, gives a kiss. Night. Are you okay? Gives a kiss. Love you, son. And it's just, and I've always wanted I always want my kids to know that I love them, and not to be a taboo subject. I want you to know how much I love you. I love you. You're my number one. Give us a kiss. You know what I mean? Well done. Give us a kiss. So I don't care. I mean, that's just, it's natural to me. I'm a really loving person. I know people that don't know me too well, but I'm a very loving person. I really love with all my heart when I love people, especially, I don't have a big circle. I don't let everybody in, but the people that are in are well in. And obviously then my kids are like my number one, just like yours kids will be. But yeah, I like showing my kids affection.
Yeah. No, it is nice. It's really nice to see. And I feel that as well. I really do on all levels, and being your mate and backing that up, what you just said, we've got a special connection as well, haven't we, over the years and stuff. And I do really feel that from the bottom of my heart. So yeah. One thing that I do want to touch on as well, that we often discuss on this show, our short-term goals. And you're back in the coaching realm, my friend.
Oh, there we go.
Back to it. Back in the game. What is the new role that you've got? What are your goals moving forward with it? And, it's something that I really feel that everybody should strive to have, the next short-term goal. And you've now got this one. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
I've just, it's a discussion that I've been speaking to Clint, who's the owner of York, who runs York, for a number of months prior to this decision being made. Just touched base and built conversation. He's a really, really good man, and he's got a lot of vision for the club, and he wanted to get me involved in somewhere. And about 2 months ago, we had a discussion, and he asked me if I'd fancy being the coach of York Valkyrie, which is the women's team. And I had a good think about it, and because it had to be right for me as well. And I still do have that desire and ambition to be back in the game on some level. And I think this is a great opportunity with a women's team that have historically done very, very well, that have achieved a lot within the game. And with a club that's growing, and with an owner I want to work with. So, I want to work together with good people that you feel as though good people. And I feel as though I can add to the game. I feel as though like my expertise, which is the game, which is rugby, which is either talking about it or being involved in it or coaching it on some level, I feel like I've got a lot of built up knowledge over a lot of years that I can help. I feel as though I can help, and I think that it'd be wasted if I never did any coaching ever again. So short-term goal, would to be get back in, and it's like I win it. It's going to be. I want to be successful. I want to win. I want to achieve. I want to grow. I want to build relationships. I want to help. I want to do the very, very best that I can.
One thing that I do know about you when it comes to that, because I've had the pleasure of being coached by you myself, and you've got extremely high standards, extremely high, which you would have by the personal accolades that you had, the career that you had, the worldies that you scored, etc. I've never been grilled as much by a coach. And I
had to grill you though. You were mate. If people saw me taking it easy on you, like, let him off because it's
I took it all right, though, didn't I?
You had to. No choice.
Well, yeah. But one thing that even if my halfback that I were passing it to didn't complain about the pass, you were still letting me know about the pass because you wanted it a certain way. You wanted it placing right on the money, exactly where you wanted me to put it.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't there, you'd tell me about that. And guess what? my passing were a hell of a lot better after about 6 weeks of being absolutely drilled. So, you know, I think...
Do you know where that comes from though, Rambo?
It's nothing but a good thing as well.
But like I played halfback, didn't I? So if you're playing halfback and your hooker can't pass, or it's a really weak, tame pass, that is the difference between going through a hole, between squaring somebody up, you know, being able to square somebody up and put somebody in short space, or between getting that opportunity that you can see on wing. If that ball comes to you slow and to your toes, the play's gone. Yeah, it's gone. So you're waiting all game for an opportunity. You see it, you've got, right, I can see that there. I've got 2-on-1 there. If I get this ball quick, I can skip to that player and I can put him in that hole, or I can show and go and I'm through. Boom, ball comes to you above your head, or it comes to you on the floor. Opportunity gone. Get the ball, Rama, where it needs to go to the target. It's really important.
Absolutely. And it was drilled and very, very much noted.
Yeah. And then you see best hookers in the world, pam, pam, bam, 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 they're there. Jimmy Lowes, boom, Kieran Cunningham, boom, 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 they're there, out of the boom.
I watched James Roby.
James Roby, unbelievable. Ridiculous.
Like an arrow.
Yeah, 25 yards.
Every time. It would never missed a beat. All game.
It's the best. It's the best feeling when you dummy half can pass like that. It's the best. As an half back and he just comes at you, bam, catch it, boom, come off your left foot, boom, hand off, boom, see you later on. Try, get that in you.
Can't be it. Can't be it.
Yeah, good memories.
You know what's great?
My mate can still do it, the body definitely can't.
But you can coach it now.
Yeah, but we can coach it, we can have some fun doing it. Yeah. The journey. We can enjoy the journey. I'm really looking forward to it. Some talented girls, some talented women that have got a lot of international caps and a lot of experience. I'm really looking forward to like building them relationships, you know, and going on a journey and achieving. So I'm really looking forward to that too.
Yeah, man.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Leon, but if you'd have had this opportunity presented to you 4 years ago,
I couldn't have done it. I wouldn't have had the capacity. I wouldn't have had the mind space, because this has all got to work around my family and my job too. So it's an opportunity that I felt as though I was never going to be in a better position emotionally, mentally, physically to have a go, because I've got the capacity to concentrate and to be organised and to organise training sessions, to, you know, build relationships, talk, discuss. There's a lot of things that come into coaching. So yeah, I couldn't have done it 4 years ago. Couldn't have done it.
You just seem to be in exactly the perfect space for it, mate. Yeah. Because something as well that it's your level of consciousness in it. I think, you know, that it just all lifts and all raises, and clear thought and everything. So your passion for the game, your experience, your knowledge, now you can tap into it all properly.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. I am. Yeah. I'm calm at the moment because I've still got quite a bit of planning. Yeah. Not got my assistant coach yet, you know, but we've got the dates planned in, and as it gets closer and closer, then the excitement will build. But at the moment I'm calm, but I am looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to the challenge because all that I do, I want to win, I want to succeed, and I want to do well and have a good experience and give the women good experiences. So I want them to get the best from me. You know what I mean? I want to be accessible and pass on what I know in the right way, communicate in the right way, and build relationships, you know, make memories, and looking forward to it. It'll be good.
When you're high vibing, it's a special place to be. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Rounding it up, just to reflect on everything up to now. What would you change anything about anything, or are you just happy about the whole journey?
Well, it's just unrealistic, isn't it? It's unrealistic to think that you could just change things, because it's not. The world goes how it goes, life goes how it's meant to go. You're supposed to have trials, tribulations, and if we all had hindsight, all of us would be perfect and life would be boring, wouldn't it? It just is. Life is just, it just is what it is. It's just like we were saying the other day, it is what it is. We're here today. I've made millions of mistakes. I've got things wrong. I'm imperfect. You know, I've made lots of bad decisions. I've made some good decisions. I've got some things wrong. I've got some things right. And I'm learning every day. I'm just trying to evolve and just be the best version of myself. Keep doing the next right thing. What's the next right thing? That's all I tell myself all the time. What's the next right thing? The past is gone. It's gone. I can't change it. It's gone. But we've got today, and we've hopefully, if we do it right, we've hopefully got tomorrow. We never know what's around the corner. Yeah. So don't look back and never look back.
I think the phrase "it is what it is" very powerful.
Massively.
It is.
So whoever's listening, here's what it is.
Just get on with it. Not going to change, is it?
No regrets. No, it's good to hear that, mate.
Where can we find you, Leon? Social media platforms. Are you interested in pushing those angles at the minute? Obviously,
I don't post much, but I've got my Instagram and I don't use Twitter anymore. But yeah, I've got to use Instagram probably most.
Yeah. So how do we find you on there? What's your handle?
Leon Pryce 6, I think it is.
Leon Pryce 6.
Yeah.
Cool. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
I really enjoyed it. It's been good.
Coming down and having a chat with us. Special one for me.
Let's go and get a coffee now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's open now, isn't it?
You're still paying for it.
Of course we are.
Thank you. Cheers, lads.
Absolutely. Of course. Right, nice one.
No, cheers.
Appreciate your time,
Leon.
Thanks, mate.
All right. See you soon.
Sorted.